Revenge Films.
My name is Kayla. I am secretly proud of raising my son Trevor in the countryside while working together as a family on a farm. My son told me that his fiance is coming to visit today, so I was very excited. While I was cooking in the kitchen waiting for his fiance to arrive, I received a call from my son.
Mom, hello. We're arriving soon.
Really? I'm looking forward to meeting her. I'm preparing local cuisine from our area, but I wonder if my son's fiance, Melanie, will be pleased about the food I'm cooking.
No need to worry about that, Mom, because Melanie is demure and has impeccable manners. Plus, she's not picky when it comes to food. She told me that she likes everything. French cuisine, Chinese cuisine, anything. And we ate out together at different types of restaurants.
Is that so? All right then. I prepared some of our local cuisines. It might not be fancy, but I guess there's no need to worry about that. After the call ended, I decided to make one more dish so that my son's fiance will feel even more welcome. Then, about an hour later, while my husband and I were eagerly waiting in the living room, the doorbell finally rang. I pushed the wheelchair that my husband was sitting on, and we excitedly headed to greet our son and his fiance at the door. My husband also heard plenty of good things about Melanie, so I can tell that he was just as excited to meet her as I am. When we opened the door for them, just as we expected, our son and his fiance were standing there. My husband and I welcomed our son back home, and Melanie gave us a little bow with a huge smile on her face.
Nice to meet you, Mr. and Mrs. Klein. My name is Melanie.
Her polite language and cheerful smile were striking. I feel relieved that she looks like a nice girl, just as my son assured me. My first impression of Melanie was a very good one. Thank you so much for carving out your time and for traveling all the way here to meet us. We should have flown to New York to meet you, but...
Please, don't worry about that, Mrs. Klein. Mr. Klein has to be in a wheelchair to travel because of the sudden accident, right? I can't possibly let someone having difficulties with travel go all the way to New York to meet me.
Thank you very much. But how about your work? Is your boss okay with this?
Yes, absolutely. Because I'm resigning from my job since I'm getting married. So the only thing I have to worry about at work is handing over my current position.
Oh my, is that so? I was happy to hear that the marriage is well underway. The food I prepared was all local dishes, but Melanie gave me a lot of compliments.
Wow, all these dishes look very exotic.
There's plenty for everyone, so please, enjoy to your heart's content.
I'm sorry to say this, Mrs. Klein, but I feel a bit queasy after the long ride today, so I don't have the appetite to eat anything.
Really? Are you all right? I am worried. I wonder if we still have medicine for car sickness.
Please, don't worry about me.
Unfortunately, my son's fiance only ate a little, but thankfully the meeting ended in a friendly atmosphere. I'm so glad that Melanie is a very good person. When my husband and I were having a conversation about yesterday, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Melanie came back to the house by herself, so my husband and I headed to the front door. Maybe she left something in the house and came to get it? And that's what I thought at first. But then, Melanie suddenly started yelling out of the blue.
Don't tell me you're planning to live together with us.
I felt so confused by the sudden change in her voice and her attitude. What? What's wrong? Melanie?
The only reason I was pleasant with you guys yesterday was because Trevor was with us. Don't mistake my friendliness yesterday because I don't like you, old people.
I was shocked to hear her incredibly foul mouth. She was completely different from yesterday.
First of all, what was that dirty food you prepared yesterday? Local cuisine? I don't have time for jokes. You're mistaken. These are just terrible local food. Only famous places are allowed to serve local cuisine.
What? I was out of words. Melanie then started to attack my husband after attacking me.
And you too, old man. Why are you even in a wheelchair? Disabled old people are bad dads. There is no way in hell I'm going to live together with you, old people. I don't care if you rat in this town in the middle of nowhere. Don't you dare inconvenience young people.
My husband was also dumbfounded. After Melanie yelled and made clear she didn't want us to be involved with her,
I will never allow you to live together with me in my house.
She spat out those words in anger and marched out the front door. Right after that scary and confusing encounter, I immediately called my son Trevor. Despite being stunned by Melanie's shocking and disturbing behavior, I knew that I had to warn my son about what happened. Trevor, you should break off your engagement with Melanie right away. You shouldn't continue being with that monster.
Huh? What's the matter, Mom?
That woman came here and then left a minute ago. She strongly told your father and me that she can't live together with us. What's worse is that she even called your father a disabled old man and a bad debt.
Wait, please. Take a deep breath and calm down, Mom. Did Melanie really say that? But I can't believe it because when we visited you yesterday, the atmosphere was great and we had a wonderful time together. Also, didn't you and Dad say that you like Melanie too?
I'm telling you, Trevor, your fiance was just pretending to be good.
But I think I understand how Melanie feels too. It does seem like it might feel like a burden for a mother-in-law and a daughter-in-law to live together, and it might not be easy to take care of senior citizens.
It's way more than just that. She's a problem to a high degree. That woman is really...
Wait a second. Mom, please, calm down a little.
I realized that I sounded too aggressive. Because of that, I felt like my son stepped back a little because of that.
In the meantime, Mom, I'll call Melanie and discuss this with her.
That night, I received a call from my son.
Melanie said that she might have said a little too much. She feels bad for saying those things, and she's reflecting on her actions.
That's what my son told me, but I was filled with worry and frustration. She thinks that she might have said a little too much. Those actions and those words? No matter how I looked at the situation from different angles, I am not convinced that it was something that just happened out of the blue. Then, the next day, that worry turned into certainty.
Why did you snitch on me? You old hag! You're such a snitch!
The moment I opened the door after pushing the doorbell several times, Melanie shouted and cussed. I ran as fast as I could to the door because the ringing of the doorbell was so annoying. I didn't have the time to assist my husband with his wheelchair. And that is why he isn't by the front door with me. Snitch on you? Of course, it's just right for me to call my son and tell him about what happened, and to also ask him for advice.
But unfortunately for you, because your son is head over heels in love with me. When I asked him in tears, he agreed that we won't be living together with you.
What?
You'll be living here while you're able to live together, as an old couple in this shabby house. If you can't take care of yourselves anymore, I will shove both of you in a nursing care facility, so at least look forward to it. I will never forget the grudge I have for you for snitching on me. I will make sure that I shove you into a horrible facility.
I was suddenly scared more than I've ever been in my whole life. The truth is, I wanted to message my son and tell him about his fiancé came back to yell offensively at me, but I was paralyzed by fear, so I wasn't able to do so. However, while I was stumped, paralyzed by the crippling fear, a ray of hope beamed towards me from an unexpected person. My neighbor happened to record my heated conversation with Melanie, including Melanie's disrespectful yelling about my husband and me. I was saved thanks to the strong neighborhood connection, so I decided to take revenge on Melanie. First, I contacted my son and told him that I wanted him to come home for a day. Then, I made Melanie come on the same day too, but I didn't tell her that her husband would be there too. Then, on the day of my revenge, Melanie marched into our house just like she always does.
Old hag! How dare you snitch on me again?
The moment Melanie yelled at me with her abusive words, my son Trevor, who was hiding behind the door, appeared.
What?
Not minding about how his wife is shocked, my son scolded his Melanie. Melanie, what is this? I need an explanation.
What? Trevor? Why are you here? Don't tell me that you...
So I told Melanie, I recorded all of your crazy rants. I used those as evidence and convinced Trevor that I was telling the truth and that you're acting crazy. After that, I made him witness you do your thing.
What? You've got to be kidding me. But how? I didn't see you recording me. Plus, you were so stunned that you didn't have time to record me.
Don't you ever underestimate the force of the neighborhood in the countryside. I thrust the device towards Melanie and pressed the play button. Now, don't you ever get involved with our family ever again. Get out of our lives.
Wait a second. But I already resigned from my job because I told my boss that I'm getting married.
I don't care about your problems.
If I don't get married to Trevor like I told everyone, my family and friends, as well as my colleagues will laugh at me. Please, forgive me, mother-in-law.
You have no right to call me your mother-in-law. Now, get out of here. I never want to see your face ever again. Trevor and Melanie's engagement was broken off, and Melanie lost her job. A few days later, Melanie's parents came to complain about how we treated their daughter. But when I showed them the video recording of their daughter, yelling and speaking abusively at us, The parents were shocked and speechless. Melanie lost her man and lost her job. She lay low living under her parents' roof and pretended like a tragic heroine. However, when Melanie's parents found out about the truth about what she did, her house was not an option to stay anymore. With nowhere else to go, Melanie came to our house, and she bowed her head down several times to me and my husband to bless her engagement with Trevor.
Please, Mr. and Mrs. Klein, please allow me to marry your son, Trevor.
No way.
I will not only take care of you, Mrs. Klein, but I will also take care of Mr. Klein, who is disabled.
My husband and I have our pride and joy too. We also have the freedom of choice to pick who we want to take care of us. Now, get out of my sight. Don't you ever show me that hideous attitude of yours, or else if you don't, I will call the police. I heard after that Melanie couldn't get married, and with irregular employment, she is living from job to job just to make ends meet. As for my son Trevor, he met a wonderful lady, got married, and they lived happily ever after. As for me, I happily live my days with my husband, excited to see the faces of my grandchildren in the future.
How was today's video? If you enjoyed it, please subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Stay tuned for more.